morning, good morning, good morning. So I was just talking to the owner operator, right? So I figured I shared something with him. I shared something with him, and so hold on a second, hold on a second, hold on one second, hold on one second. My bad, I'm back. Is that a? I can't see myself. What's going on with my screen? Hold on. What's going on with my screen and stuff? Can't hardly see. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with my screen. There we go. So yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, I was talking to an owner operator, and first off, before I say anything else, let me talk a little bit about myself. So I had my CDL since 2018, and before that, I did a whole bunch of stuff. But before that, right before that, I was working at a golf course, doing like it was brutal, doing the weeds and cutting the weeds and the hedges and doing the mowing the greens, the fairways, and everything else, right? And so my cousin, my cousin, one day we were sitting around talking and everything, right? He was like, cuz you're looking kind of thin, and you're not looking right. You looking, because I was losing weight. Being out in the sun all day, I was losing weight. I just said, hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. He said, I didn't look right. He said, you need to try to like get your CDL license, and I said, well, I'll look into it. So I called around. Helping Hands, and I called Helping Hands. I called the state, and because they said they were giving grants and stuff out to people, right? They were giving grants out to people, and so I said, well, okay, but the fact with Helping Hands is, they're gonna give you the money, but you got to go through a whole bunch of hoops and hurdles. So I ended up calling another company. They actually pay for you to go to CDL school, and so I said, I just finished my route. I'm just sharing about owner operators and how you can make some additional income without without driving so many miles in a truck. So anyway, I was talking to the owner operator, and but before that, like I was saying, I went to college different companies, close to different companies, and I ended up Arizona, going to Arizona tonight, and first time, because they give you tests. First test, they give you a pre-trip, right? They give you a pre-trip, and then they give you a road test. And the first time I felt the pre-trip, and the second time I felt the road test. And I came home and say, oh, I thought you were gonna get your CDL license. Everybody laughed at me and giggled and hee ha ha. They laughed and giggled, right? Thought you would get your CDL license. Here's a bunch of owner operators here, right here. One of them over there I was talking to him. He didn't want to be on camera, so I got to respect that. But yeah. So anyway, they hee ha ha, right? So my mom said, well, you just come back home and call around. You get your license. So I ended up calling Swift, and the rest is history. I went to training, got my training and everything. So anyway, I went out with my own operator, my mentor, because when you get your license and anything else, you got to go out for a certain amount of weeks with a mentor and get trained and everything, right? And so I went out with him a couple of weeks and got trained. And so he was telling me about his pay. He was telling me about his pay, about how much he made, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a nice amount of money. After everything is everything is paid off. Everything is paid off. He still came home with a nice amount, right? And so I was telling the guy I just talked to, I was telling him what I just talked to. I said, you guys make this amount of money, but what if you can make the same amount of money, because you still got an overhead, and what happens if you don't drive? What happens if you don't drive any miles? And what happens if the truck don't move? You don't get paid any money. So if there was a way that you can make money, same amount of money, with less effort from the comfort of your own home, would that interest you? And he said, well, is it legit? I say, yeah, it's legit. And you know, you said, well, what is it? And I told him, I said, simply, just helping people save money or make money in the travel industry. And so I gave him information. I gave him the information, and what's up? I gave him the information, and he said he's gonna look at it, and we'll see. Change phone numbers, but same thing to you. You know, if you're interested in you know, you want to drive all these miles because you got to drive some miles. You can't just sit home, and you can make some money, but look what you're giving up. Give up the fact that you're away from your family, away from your kids. If you got kids, you're away from your wife. If you got a wife, your girlfriend, whoever it may be, you're away from them, driving all these miles. We can do the same thing with a little effort every day to make the same amount of money. You know, so now I'm not knocking it. You know, some people just love to be on the road, but you can do that without the headache of going to these loading areas, and sometimes they want to load, sometimes they don't. They drag around. Hey, what's up? They drag around. Good morning. Well, I'm done. I'm just waiting until 12 o'clock. I finished my route already, but you know they got a set where you gotta wait a certain time before you can leave. But yeah, I finished my route kind of early today, so I figured I'd come on because I was talking to like I said earlier, I was talking to an owner operator, and I was sharing with him how he can make the same amount of money with a little effort. You know, it's gonna take some time, but what you got, you're out of driving miles anyway. You might as well just try to do something else besides make a way so you can be home with your family instead of being over the road all the time. If you desire, some people desire, they don't want to be home. But oh no. You see this right here? This don't have nothing to do with Pepsi. This don't have nothing to do with Pepsi at all. Nothing to do with Pepsi. But yeah, but I was, you know, it's nice of you to ask though. Pepsi's a good company, but it's not a Pepsi shirt. But they do wear similar shirts, but it says Pepsi on them, I think. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, Pepsi's a good company. But like I said, owner operator pay without driving so many miles. And not only that, you're being a blessing and helping other people. So because everybody's gonna travel. We all desire to travel. We all travel at some point. And why if somebody don't get the commission, why not let it be you? Why would you let somebody why would you let somebody else get the commission you're supposed to get? That don't make any sense at all. You know, especially when you travel with a large group of people. You travel with a large group of people, booking a girls trip or a guys trip, or going to an event, football game, basketball game, soccer game, whatever you want to go to. Sit down for a second. Whatever you want to go to, and you book this event for everybody, and somebody else getting commission besides you. I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I help people save money. This right here I call it my part-time job, what I'm doing right now. But my full-time job is as a travel advisor, agent, whatever you want to call it. But I help people save money or make money in the travel industry. And it's a lot cooler. It's a lot cooler inside, and it's a lot easier than doing what I do right now. So, you know, electrician is hard. It's hard work. At my age, I don't want to work hard anymore. You know, like I don't want to work hard anymore. You know, it's time to do something easier, and there's easier ways to make money besides working hard. You can work hard, but I'm saying as far as like physically working hard, that's what I mean. But yeah, so yeah, but thanks for the advice though. But no, that's not for me. It's not for your boy. But yeah, if you say you're looking for a job, you used to be a loader. I used to load for, I don't know if you guys heard of Publix, but I was a loader for Publix years ago, like almost, well, 18 and a half years ago. And the funny thing about that is, I did a video earlier about not quitting, and I was talking about that, but I didn't elaborate. But I was working part-time. At Pepsi. And my youngest daughter, she was a baby. And I'm like, stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know, you got to work as a father. You got to try to find something if ain't nothing physically wrong with you. So, but I found something, but it was part-time. I'm like, man, this part-time money ain't worth. I said, I'll take it back to the streets. But I went there one day. I went there one day, and I was like, I was gonna quit. I was gonna quit. I said, man, this money ain't nothing. You know, I'm tired of this. Tired of dealing with this crap, this stuff. Tired of dealing with this stuff. Not getting like I was getting like maybe 15 to 20 hours a week, and I was doing it for a couple of months. And I'm like, this not gonna cut it. And so plus I didn't have any, like I said, I didn't have any health insurance. And so I said, you know what? I had been applying different jobs, different warehouse jobs, different other jobs. All I can apply for, I applied for. And so I applied for the distribution center there. And you know, like when I went in there that day, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and go in. I went in there that day, and I got hired. Yeah, still. What does that mean? I mean, you want to work hard? Cause you 21, you 6'4". That's not a logical way to think. Cause you're not gonna be young forever. Number one. Number two, after a certain amount of time, you gonna that's a wear and tear on your back. Depending on what you're doing, the physical activity. Why do something so physical when you don't have to? There's other ways to make money. Like I just said, smarter ways to make money. Unless you just like physical work. But I don't, you know, I can do that now if I wanted to, but I don't want to. You know, it's not like I can't. I'm physically able to, and I'm good at it too. I was great at it. Like, you know, we had it was like fast paced. Public is fast paced at the warehouse. So it's not like it's you know a slow steady thing. You're moving, constantly moving. So, hold on, let me see something real quick. But yeah, it's not it's cold, and it's cold. I ain't say that. I was in the produce department, loading the produce for different stores. But yeah, you know, and those trucks. Let me get over here. Yeah, those trucks. They take one out and back one in, take one out and back one in. Yeah, they take one out and back one in quick. So, you know, but you know, I just came on a little bit because I said I was talking to the owner. I was talking to the owner operator, sharing with him about, you know, driving. Don't have to drive so many miles to make a certain amount of money. You know, why do that? And then have less of an overhead. Less of an overhead for you to start a business and run a business, and without all the aggravation of you know, gas or the truck breaking down or anything else, you know. But we all you know, we all make, you know. I remember those days. Like sometimes, especially like during the winter time, you don't want to be over the road during the winter time. You know, it's hard to get loads, and then they dispatch send you places where you don't really want to go. So, you know, if there's something different out there for you to hold on, restricted. James, what are you saying, James? Hold on, let me look. I don't know, James. Whatever you had to say, you should say it. Make it plain. Thank you for have a good day. Thank you all for coming in, joining in. I appreciate it. But yeah. So yeah, I just came on to say a little bit about that. Like I said, I was talking to an owner operator, sharing with the owner operator, for all those owner operators out there, you know, that may be interested. And what happened? Maybe interested in not, how you doing? Maybe interested in whether you do it on a part-time basis or a full-time basis. You know, there's other ways to, if you decide, other ways for you to drive less miles and make money. You know, you have to drive all those miles to make this ways to make money. A different way to make money, if you choose to. If you really want to. Because like I say, sleeping in your truck, using the restroom in your truck. It's like, it's a rough job. But you know, there's other ways. That's what I was telling him, and he said he's gonna look at it. So I'm inviting you to look at it. You know, I'm inviting you to look at it. If you watch this video right now live, or you watching the video replay, check out travelagentworkshop.com. The sponsor ID code is GUNSTIP, like my channel, GUNSTIP. So travelagentworkshop.com. Sponsor ID code is GUNSTIP. Travel owner operators, Swift drivers, Pam, Knight, you know, anyone, you don't have to be a truck driver. I'm just saying because I was talking to him, talking to this guy over here. But you don't have to be a truck driver. You don't have to be a truck driver. You can be somebody that desires change, desires a different way, or a way. Because like the young man said, the young 21-year-old man said, you know, he's looking for something. So this could be something you're looking for. You know, it's not nothing happens by chance. You know, everything's by design. So you know, it could be something. You know, like I said, travelagentworkshop.com. Sponsor ID code is GUNSTIP. So you watch this replay, and I'm here. I get my messages instantly. Somebody notifies when somebody comments or something on my channel, so I get them. So if you're interested, you watch that webinar, and you're interested, then feel free. I'll contact you. And we'll chat about it. Maybe it's Zoom or whatever, but we'll chat about the next steps or whatever. But yeah. So I'm gonna get off of here. I'll walk back towards the front. And then I'm gonna get off of here. But yeah, I was just talking about owner operators, or anyone that maybe desire a change, that desire a different way to make additional income. You know, check out travelagentworkshop.com. You don't have to drive. The sponsor ID code is GUNSTIP. You don't have to drive all those miles. Be away from your family to make an income. You know, if you desire something different, you know, because these kids grow up fast, and you might start when they're young. You look up, still driving, and they'll be adults. So, and you got this guy. His truck is broke down. You got to worry about getting that fixed. So you know, there's other avenues where you don't have to work so hard to get what you want. And like I said, for me personally, I don't want to work hard anymore. Like, you know, it's hot too. It's hot in South Florida. You gotta get out here and deliver, and then you gotta drop a flatbed. So gotta unstrap stuff. It's not like I'm back in the day when I used to back to a dock and they unloaded it so I could sit in the truck and lay down. It's not like that no more. I'm out here in the heat, throwing things over, throwing straps over the truck and unload the truck myself. So, you know, find a different way, find another way, and there's other ways out there. Like I said, check out travelagentworkshop.com. Sponsor ID code is GUNSTIP. So, you know, I'm here, and like I said, this is the South Florida, the third largest market, and I'm looking for people to partner with that's in this market. If you're not in this market, it don't matter, but I'm looking for people in the South Florida market to work with, so we can build this market up. Because like I said, this third largest market, and this company's going to get ready to open up 20 more other countries besides the ones they have already. So it's a golden opportunity for those that want it, those that take it. And if you, like I said, if you desire change, you know, everybody don't want change. Everybody, some people are content with what they have and where they're at. They don't want to do the work to make themselves, their life, or their children's life different. But you know, and I don't understand either. You should always, in my opinion, now, folks. In my opinion, you should always work daily to do something better for yourself. Especially if you have offspring. You know, in my youth, I was foolish, but now I'm old. I wise up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. So anyway, like I said, I was actually, what time is it? Yeah, let me sit down. Oh no. But anyway, let me get off of here. And cause I gotta use the restroom too. So let me get off of here, prep myself to get off. I'll be back on later on, maybe. And if you don't follow me, if you please make sure you subscribe. But also go over to TikTok. I'm on TikTok too. I'll be going live over there sometime today, maybe tomorrow. I'm not really sure, but make sure you follow me over there on TikTok. Same name, GUNSTIP. Make sure you go over there and follow me over on TikTok, because I'll be going live over there too, and I'll be going more in depth what I'm talking about and sharing a little bit more about myself and about the company. So anyway, Be safe, be blessed. Like I always say, I close out my videos. Tell somebody you love them, but you never know when you're gonna go. You never know when they're gonna go. Kiss the ones you love. You never know when you can kiss them again. Y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed, and I'll be seeing you again. I'm out. Peace.